welcome back to the channel, my wonderful people. Today it is all about Niko Kovac, the Borussia Dortmund manager. Since his time there, he has played 3 different formations, and you have got 3 different formations to look at. We've got a 3-4-2-1, a 3-1-4-2, and a 4-5-1. If I've missed any, I do apologise, but I felt like 3 was more than enough. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Right then, so first up, we are going to test with Borussia Dortmund, and we enjoy a fantastic season. Not only do we secure top 4, we actually go on and win the Bundesliga, with 27 wins, 6 draws, and just 1 loss. If that's not good enough, we also go on to win the Pokal, 3-2 over FC Bayern. It was not an easy final, but we just about edge it and get the job done. The Champions League wasn't awful, wasn't also great. What I will say is, we are playing as Porto, so it's a little bit inaccurate. We potentially would have got further, but that Porto team with the tactic got the one up on us, so we don't really know exactly where we would have got of. Maybe back home, you'll get to the final, you'll win it. Let me know how it goes. But in terms of the Bundesliga, this is going to be the focus, because we got the best of one key player that I love. If you watch my rebuilds, you'll know I love him, Duranville. 23 goals, an immaculate season for a lot of these Dortmund players, to be honest, as we are going to have the most goals, the most shots, the fewest shots against, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. A very, very strong German season from a very, very strong German team that aren't a powerhouse, but definitely are a top 4 side. So we are still going to have a powerhouse to come. The data hub is going to look like this: just over 3 goals a game, 0.5 conceded, a solid pass completion, and a decent amount of shots per game. Now this tactic is going to be the 3-4-2-1, to make that very, very clear. And with this system, you get explosive wingbacks, you get good counter-attacking play, and honestly, very, very good at the back as well, which is really nice to see, because sometimes this year it's been hard for not just me, but everyone that makes tactics, back home creators, whatever you want to say, to get a free back really, really working, as well as a 4-2-3-1. So it was really good to see this tactic come into its own. I'm going to use this game as an example, because we actually went 1-0 down to Bayern, and when we went 1-0 down, I had a tactical change. So we concede this goal here quite early on, a bit unlucky from the keeper. We're going to go down. I then switched to the more narrow 2-striker system, and we got absolutely cooking. So when I say get all 3 tactics, I would genuinely recommend it, because sometimes just having a complete change up, whether that just be dragging a winger to a striker, makes all the difference. And honestly, we got the job done. This is where the game really come into its own, because we actually managed to score 3 goals from the 72nd minute to the end of the game. And Duranville, he played a big part to this game, let me tell you that. A real key player, as we are going to see again, high intense press, right on it, using the brain, winning the ball back. Reina goes up, a great ball through into Brandt, and that is going to be a 3-1 lead away against Bayern after going 1-0 down, and we still have enough in the tank to go and grab a 4th goal. Bayern Munich got absolutely humiliate. We're then going to go over and test with Porto, and I'm not being funny. When you've got Samu up front, you've got Namaso behind. We did play the narrow version of the system. Genuinely, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we win the Champions League, which is probably a lot bigger than winning everything else, but a big achievement. The Portuguese Cup 5-0. I mean, the League Cup 6-0 over Sporting. The Super Cup 3-0 over Sporting. And the actual league was simply incredible. We go invincible. We do draw a game, but 33 wins, Samu with 48 goals, and he is one of the more broken wonder kids in the game, but this Porto team got absolutely firing. 158 goals scored, 970 shots, the fewest shots against, very solid in possession, bit of a tongue tire, joint with Benfica, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. Now, this tactic, genuinely, I don't know if because it is maybe the powerhouse, it looks a little bit better, but genuinely, this is such a strong season. I mean, the data hub to back this up as well will tell you that. 4.65 scored, 0.47 conceded, good amount of shots, and a very good pass completion. This tactic done absolute wonders. Now, it is the strongest team in the video, because the other 2 are obviously sort of top 4 teams, Nice more a top 7. So we are going to make that very clear to any viewers out there. But if you are playing as a team like Porto, where you are the big boy of the league, this is what you come to expect. Utter dominance. And then with Nice, we actually played the flat 4-5-1, so a bit different, and I'll be honest, a really, really good season. This one actually can also be treated as a defensive tactic, but also a goal-scoring tactic, which is quite funny. It really depends on the players you've got, because you can modify it in many ways, which I'm going to talk about when we break that version down, and it will make a lot more sense then. But still a very, very strong season. Stat-wise, we're going to outscore everybody. PSG were quite close, but defensively, we even beat PSG in that regard. So this season, we deserved every ounce of success. We also go on to win the French Cup. Now, let's be honest, it is against an easier team, but I know one thing. I'm not complaining. We are going to watch the French Cup final because, I mean, we get to see 8 goals go in. We're going to see a mixture of how this tactic actually plays. Please do remember, this is the flat 4-5-1. So we actually do start off quite deep, but clearly it doesn't impact the goals that you score. Now, this man, Mofi up front, he is genuinely such a good striker. I mean, in the league alone, he scored 30 goals. A very, very strong performer. Good strength in behind, and the likes of Diop around him absolutely thrived as we are already 3-0 up in 31 minutes. Make that 4-0. I mean, genuinely, when you partner this tactic with my set pieces, as another one goes in, you are going to be an incredible team in whatever league you're playing in. A 5-0 lead, I believe, in the first half. So strong, and again, the set pieces are going to come in. They always get added to the tactics because at the end of the day, I'll use them whether I'm making a video or not. And this is what you get with my set pieces. You get endless goals. So if you haven't got them, make sure you go and get them because they're absolutely nuts. As we are going to show the last goal going in, and again, a lot of these goals were actually set pieces, but if you've got them, you may as well flaunt them. And that, we'll take that. What a way to end the game. Right then, over to your favourite part of the video. That is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying back home, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, I will go over and say, if you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you are coming on over because we have got a 10-year Borussia Dortmund rebuild coming out very shortly. And you will guarantee to be loving it if you do enjoy rebuilds. So make sure you come over to the second channel, Daily Josh, if you do enjoy that sort of content. But to make this tactic, you want to simply load in a create your own style and simply click a 5-2-3 and we'll build up from there. So the first thing we're actually going to change is going to be the mentality because we're actually quite an attacking team, and for this variant, the first one is going to be the 3-4-2-1. We are going to go up to attacking, so that says quite a fair bit about the overall plan of this tactic, what we are going to expect to do. We are going to be quite direct and, well, quite fast-paced. Now, the goalkeeper is actually going to be a goalkeeper, simply on defend, so that's nice and simple. Going over to the back line, I've actually opted for a central defender on cover in the middle. Quite helpful in the back three sometimes, a man who's going to sit a bit more deep and really be a bit of a bailout option. Some see it as that, I personally do. And therefore, beside him, we can afford to play a wide centre-back on defend on the left and also on the right-hand side. One small change you can make to this tactic if you feel like you've got a ridiculous, confident defender, for example, is you could actually have him on support and get him quite involved. For me, I've not trialled it, so that is completely up to you, but I know sometimes you get these new gens come in and they're some of the best ball-playing defenders and they can also go on the attack, so that is one thing you could look to change as a little heads up. But going over to the wing-backs, we are going to have two exactly the same. They are both going to be automatic on the right-hand side and also the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, we are going to tell them to cross more often, alongside of run wide and also get further forwards. And therefore, as mentioned, identically, get forwards, run wide and cross more often. So you are going to need good wing-backs, okay? Now, this doesn't just mean crossing. It means stamina, work rate, acceleration, pace. You need the complete package. So make sure you have got players that can put a ball in and have got the fitness to go up and down the field a multiple amount of times. In midfield on the right, we are going to use a ball-winning midfield player simply set to support. And on the left, we are going to use a DM who is simply going to be on support with two instructions. That is going to be get forwards and also alongside tackle harder. This player is perfect because he will defend as a defensive midfielder, but also he will make the effort to go up and really help create the chances because we need the help going up the pitch. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in downloading all three of these tactics in one simple download, and that is all of my tactics from the year, getting them on mobile and on console, all of my rebuild files, Wonder Kid shortlists, databases, one-on-one tactical help, access to big monthly giveaways, and ad-free viewing. They all go on the Patreon, my videos, where you do not watch a single ad and you get any piece of content relative to that video. So make sure you go and check it out. We've got 20% off, and we've just announced a £1,000 giveaway, so make sure you go and check it out. Much love for those involved with that one, by the way. So let's go over and finalize this tactic, as we are going to actually drag both of these players centrally, and both of them are going to be AMs, both set to attack, and they are also going to share the same set of instructions, moving into the channels and roaming from the position. Now, this tactic, again, a big reason why you do need those influential wingbacks is because that is how the width gets provided, so make sure you have got them. I will keep stressing it. And to finalise it, we are going to have an advanced forward simply on the default. Going over to the actual team instructions, we are going to overlap left and overlap right. Again, very important for this tactic. Playing out from the back, again, very important. The tempo all the way up to higher, the passing down by 1 to shorter, and we're also going to allow our players to be more expressive. So that's where the goals comes from. In transition, counter press, counter, play to the centre backs. We have got free, and also take short goal kicks. And let's go over now and look at the outer possession. And for the outer possession, we are going to go with the high press and that wonderful higher line, get stuck in, and the trigger press maxed out to much more often. So now over to the more attacking version, which we did switch to get back into the game. And this one is definitely more of a full send. And this is why I say I'd use this as a more powerhouse team. For example, Porto would be a good example, because as you can see, it is incredibly attacking minded. The goalkeeper does remain the same, the wide centre backs and the central defender also remain the same. We then go with one DM on hold position and tackle harder. The last thing you want is to not have hold position on, because you need him to lock it down there. If he's drifting out here, they're going to be right at your back line for fun, so they need to be on there. The wingers are both going to be on get further forward, so you can add that on the left hand side as well. And what I will say about this is where you can technically make a change. There's a few ifs and maybes with this tactic. So the first one is you don't have to have get further forwards on. That is completely really optional. You can have it not on that and they will still get forward and they will be a bit more defensively minded. For me, I actually have both of them on close down more, tackle harder, and also get forwards. But I'm going to let you make your decision on that one, because it all comes down to what situation you're in and what team you're playing as. The AMs are both going to be on take more risks for their passing and shooting less often, and we are going to roll with a double advanced forward, both on roam from position. The mentality is going to drop to positive, because with such a more attack and shape, we don't also need to be attacking. We are going to play out from the back. We're not going to focus on overlapping because we don't really have the wing backs. The passing down by 1, the tempo up to higher. We are then going to look to run at defence. In transition, we are going to counter press and counter. We're still going to play to the centre-backs taking short goal kicks, because we've got 3 centre-backs. That is never going to change in these 2 variants. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to roll with the standard line, the high press, much more often, and also get stuck in. Josh, why a standard line, not higher, much higher? You will get played in behind for absolute fun. With that being said, that is going to be the 3-4-1-2. The 3-4-2-1, sorry. This is the 3-1-4-2. This is the 4-5-1. So let's go and talk business. Now, this tactic I said is defensive, but also attacking. And that is because, essentially, it comes down to how you want to play. Because, for me, I treated it as more of an attacking version that allowed me to have also a stacked midfield. Now, if you're trying to seal out a game, you could change these inverted wingers for defensive wingers, even wingers that aren't on attack. But if you do want to get the same sort of results as me, you want that attacking element, copy exactly what's on screen. So, the goalkeeper, obviously the same, ball playing defender, default, central defender, default. Wing back on the right and on the left. The one on the left is on get further forwards. The one on the right, simply on tackle harder. The one on the left also does share that tackle harder instruction. The inverted wingers are both going to be on tackle harder, because naturally they're going to get forwards and do exactly what I want them to do. We then have the ability to have a stacked midfield. In the middle, we've got a man locking it down, a supportive ball-winning midfield player, a box-to-box on the right who does need to get forward to really contribute and help out the advanced forward, And the central midfield player also will get forwards, roam, move into the channels, and also tackle harder, as we are going to deploy an advanced forward on roam from position. Now, if you are in the market for a more defensive 4-5-1, first off, I would actually keep the box-to-box, but take off get further forwards, and I'll keep the central midfield player and just tell him to do that. And of course, change the wingers to supportive, or even, if you've got the players, defensive wingers. So you can really have a lot of influence on this tactic, and again, it really comes down to your current situation and what you need best. That's the simple way to put it. But in terms of the actual team instructions, we are going to go attacking, because I think even if you are playing defensive, you can keep that mentality, because the shape is so defensive anyway. Having that attack and sort of mentality allows for positive counter-attacks. We are still going to play out from the back. The passing is going to go down by 1, the tempo all the way maxed out, and we are going to opt for run at defence, because again, we are going to be a team that is going to fight very hard on the counter press, but then counter, and we are going to fly and still score goals, because that's what we're about, while playing to the centre-backs and taking short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, we can now go with a higher line, because we've got a more consistent shape, step up more, get stuck in, and a maxed out trigger press. And that is going to give you not 1, not 2, but 3 versions of the Dortmund manager. Now, he has played these formations in different areas, sometimes for 20 minutes, sometimes for a game. But when I do a manager that I've never done before, I like to give you guys a complete package. I don't like to mess you over and give you one, which is why sometimes they take longer, and hopefully you appreciate the time that's gone into this. And if you have, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, whack the bell on, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.